Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight on Wyln News. I'm Gary Perna. For the second day in a row, we start our newscast on a sad note. Tonight we announce that lifelong Hazleton resident, businessman, and community leader George F. Hayden Sr. has died. Hayden graduated from Penn State University in 1960 with a degree in electronic technology. He served in the United States Coast Guard and in the United States Navy. After working in two different businesses, he started his own company, George J. Hayden Incorporated, in his kitchen, which has become a large electrical firm in many states and abroad. Hayden served on Hazleton City Council from 1982 till 1986. In November of 2017, Penn State Hazleton dedicated the new state-of-the-art engineering laboratories to the Florence and George J. Hayden Engineering Laboratories. Hayden died Monday, leaving behind many family and friends. We do know that a viewing will be held Friday and a funeral Saturday at the Funeral Services Incorporated in Hazleton. They are in charge of arrangements. More will be posted in the coming days. At a press conference today, the Schuylkill County District Attorney, along with state police, announced the result of a drug investigation that led to 14 people being arrested and over $1 million in drugs seized. Schuylkill County District Attorney Mike Opake said it was a good day for law enforcement and the citizens of Schuylkill County. Operation Strike 3 netted 14 people, with the center of the drug ring based out of Hazleton. Over 10 law enforcement agencies were involved in Operation Strike 3. The names of the individuals that were arrested and as part of this operation are up now on your screen, 4 of them from Hazleton. Of the drugs seized, over 5 pounds of meth, 5 pounds of fentanyl, and over 1 pound of heroin. Opake pointed out that the fentanyl seized has a street value of over $700,000. All those arrested are locked up tonight in the Schuylkill County Prison. There are still 2 people officials say they are looking for in connection to this case. At least 3 people were taken to local hospitals following a crash this morning in Hazleton. The call came in just before 10 this morning for the 4-car crash at Diamond Avenue and Cybert Streets. Officials say the 4 sports utility vehicles were involved in the wreck. Hazleton police are investigating. Those taken to the hospital by Lehigh Valley and Valley Regional ambulances did not sustain any life-threatening injuries, according to officials. Hazleton firefighters were on scene and assisted with traffic and with cleanup this morning from that crash. Now to a second crash today, this one in the city, and this one happened around 12 noon on Sherman Court. According to officials, an elderly woman was behind the wheel of a car that jumped a curb and hit a woman that was walking on the sidewalk in front of the Sharking Law offices. The woman that was walking by was taken by Lehigh Valley EMS to a hospital. The driver and her passenger were okay and were able to drive the car away. Hazleton fire crews checked out the building. There was no damage. Hazleton police were also on the scene this afternoon in the city. Luzerne County is continuing to move forward with their 911 system upgrades, along with some new voting machines. Wyln's Julie Wiegand has more from last night's meeting.
Luzerne County Council gave the official go-ahead last night to borrow $19.7 million for the analog to latest digital upgrade and $1.4 million toward new paper trail voting machines. While the ordinance adopted by council is for $34.7 million, County Manager David Pedri said it'll be $33.3 million or $1.4 million less.
On behalf of the 911 system, I want to thank the fire departments and the police departments and the EMS from across the county. They were huge supporters of this, got the information out to the county council.
Pedri said every radio throughout the county will be changing over, along with the complete system. The county saved $1 million on the 911 system due to a new state grant.
In every NIOSH report you read, radio communications is most important. And the NIOSH report's done, it was in the line of duty death of a firefighter. So it's most important that we give our firefighters the tools they need to communicate not only with the incident commander on the scene, but also for the incident commander to communicate with the county to get additional resources. And that communication has to be clear and crisp. And we can be more supportive of this great project and look forward to it being implemented and happening.
Hazleton Fire Chief Donald Lechko can't thank the county and its 911 center enough for coming together in support of this, for not only the safety of each life in the line of duty, but for the citizens they protect as well.
You know, it shows the county-wide fire, EMS, and police agencies come together as one to stand behind us and to make this a reality. And again, for the safety of not only our firefighters, police officers, and EMS workers, but for our citizens in general.
County 911 Executive Director Fred Rosecrans told Council the county will provide about 90% of what's currently in use. The county also plans to provide a bulk purchase discount for municipalities to purchase additional equipment, including ones that need more due to collective bargaining agreements. It was realized back in 2016 that keeping an analog system presented many challenges for the county's responders and 911 staff to communicate with agencies.
Where you have currently patchwork quilts of zones and radio systems that were in place for many years, they served their purpose. But now it's time to upgrade and to give the first responders the system that they deserve. I just appreciate council's support, and I truly appreciate the first responders that came out, the chiefs. So over the last couple of weeks, we received many letters of support, and I think that just gives council a sense of easiness to make this decision.
After a demonstration of all three vendors' machines before last night's meeting, Council must now choose a system by the end of the year to start using by 2020.
Luzerne County has been tasked by the state to buy all new voting machines. It's a major issue that every county across the Commonwealth is looking at. We are looking at 3 vendors right now. County Council is a very tough decision to make. We have 3 excellent vendors. The state is coming up with about 60% of that funding, and we have to come up with the rest.
10 out of 11 council members in attendance voted for the borrowing, which is expected to close November 26th. Reporting in Wilkes-Barre for Wyln News, I'm Julia Wiegand.
A West Hazleton man was handling suspected drugs when a Hazleton police officer showed up at the window of his truck Monday morning. A patrol officer saw a white Ford F-150 truck parked on North Laurel Street with its lights on, blocking a driveway. 22-year-old Brandon Crum of West Hazleton was then spotted crushing suspected crack cocaine. When the officer approached his window, where Crum later refused to show his hands and exit the vehicle. At the time, officers also noticed an alcohol scent from Crum. He was charged with resisting arrest, possession of a controlled substance, and use or possession of drug paraphernalia, and other charges along with public drunkenness. Crum's bail was set at $40,000. A Mahanoy City man was jailed after being arrested on child pornography charges. A search warrant was issued on 53-year-old Christopher John Baker's home back on October 2nd and was executed by both state and Homeland Security. Baker and a woman was found inside the home at the time of the search. Baker was granted investigators access to his cell phone and admitted to searching, downloading, viewing, and saving child pornography several times over the last month, within a month over the past year. He also allowed authorities to access various cloud storage filing devices. He was charged with 25 felony counts of possession of child pornography. He was also charged with 2 felony counts of sexual abuse and 1 felony count of criminal use of a communication facility. He is committed to the Schuylkill County Prison, unable to post bail of $350,000 straight cash. A juvenile girl who could have been facing life in prison for the murder has agreed to plead guilty as an adult. 16-year-old Mercedes Hall of Kingston has pled guilty as an adult to third-degree murder. Hall will testify against her 3 co-defendant friends and will serve up to 12 years in prison. Her plea comes during what was scheduled as a routine status conference on Monday in Luzerne County Court, which was about whether her murder case would be shifted to juvenile court. Hall and 3 of her friends are charged in April in connection to the plot and to rob and kill her friend's 71-year-old grandfather, Joseph Moka, inside his Edwardville home. According to police, he was pummeled and stabbed dozens of times before the group stole his car and fled with $30,000. She pled to homicide charges as part of her plea, dropping all remaining charges in Luzerne County Court. Well, coming up on Wyln News, are you ready for Real ID, and do you have yours yet? The countdown is on. Plus, a confirmed case of a rare mosquito-transmitted viral infection has been found in Luzerne County. We'll have the details straight after the break. But first, here's a look at the 7-day forecast on WYLN. We're going to see more showers tomorrow, a high of 57. Thursday, it's going to be much nicer, 62, partly cloudy skies. And Friday, unfortunately, we could see some morning showers, a high of 62. We'll be right back.
Tri-County has been keeping your office up to speed since 1969. Everything your office needs: office supplies, personal and custom business forms, business cards, office furniture, new and used office equipment, copy, print, and scan solutions with wide format capabilities. Leasing is also available, free off-street parking, and free local delivery. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, 570-459-0754. Family owned and operated since 1969.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton, everything to make your house a home.
Barber Ford has the largest selection of Ford commercial vehicles in Northeast PA with over 50 Super Duties in stock. Plus, Barber Ford is the only Ford commercial vehicle center in the area, participating with the state's cooperative purchasing program, CoStars. Barber Ford, where the pros go for trucks.
Having an intimate gathering and don't want to wrestle in the kitchen? Call Whitetail and ask about their food-to-go catering menu. They'll do the cooking, you relax, and entertain your guests. Call Mike at 570-535-6123.
A case of Eastern equine encephalitis has been confirmed this week in Luzerne County. That's according to the State Department of Agriculture and Health. The case of EEE was confirmed on a horse in Fairmont Township. The case of the disease previously reported in Erie, Carbon, and Monroe counties. EEE is a rare mosquito-transmitted viral infection carried by birds. It is considered one of the most serious mosquito-borne diseases in the United States because of its high mortality rate in horses and in humans. For more information and for recommendations on precautions, visit health.pa.gov or agriculture.pa.gov. For the second week in a row, former Luzerne County Judge Mark Chiavarella was dealt a blow. The former judge's case will not be taken up by the United States Supreme Court. The denial by the nation's highest court was the second for Chiavarella, who's serving a lengthy prison sentence for his role in the juvenile justice scandal. Without any explanation, the Supreme Court denied Chiavarella's petition. The 69-year-old is currently an inmate at a federal correction institute in Ashland, Kentucky. He has been there serving part of his 28-year sentence, but could be reduced pending the outcome of a new trial which has yet to be scheduled. A jury in the United States District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania in Scranton convicted him in 2011 of 10 of 39 counts related to the scandal that prosecutors said was connected to nearly $3 million in kickbacks for the construction of 2 private for-profit juvenile detention centers, one in Pittston Township and one out in Butler County. Time is ticking down for residents to get their real ID, which will allow them to travel by plane and enter federal buildings next year. PennDOT officials say that many Pennsylvanians have not yet applied for their real IDs as of last month. Around 372,000 residents received a real ID driver's license. The Department of Transportation estimates that there's over 1 million residents will get their real IDs by October 1st, 2020. Deadline. PennDOT warns that waiting to get your real ID, applicants will have longer waits at driver license centers. To get a real ID, the applicant must present a birth certificate, or a passport with 2 proofs of street address and a social security card by October 1st, 2020. That will be in time for the real IDs that must be presented to enter into federal buildings and board all domestic flights. The holiest day in the Jewish faith begins tonight at sunset. Yom Kippur is a time when Jewish people reflect on their lives. It is also known as the day of the Senate. The Jewish fast and pray to avoid luxuries like wearing perfume and jewelry. It is also the accumulation of a 10-day period of self-reflection called the Days of Awe. We wish everyone a very blessed Yom Kippur to everyone who is celebrating it in our area. Coming up on Hazel Township's News Choice, we are line dancing at the Hazelton Area High School, plus we are talking stop signs in Trooper Talk Tuesday. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
Hi, I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-thru lane. Don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazelton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
Life is full of partners. Your health deserves a partner too.
Welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday here on Wyln. Everyone, I'm Gary Pern, and today I'm with Trooper Anthony Petrowski from Pennsylvania State Police Hazelton, and we're talking about stop signs. And believe it or not, they are not optional. I know, shocker, right? So Trooper Petrowski, we're seeing a spike in people who just think that, oh, well, there's nobody coming, so why do I need to stop? Or completely just zooming right past it. And number one, it's dangerous. Number two, it's against the law.
Correct. We have to remember as a licensed driver, there's rules to follow. Whether there's no vehicles around or you think there's no vehicles around, you still need to come to a complete stop. School's back in session. Kids are out at the bus stops in the morning, in the afternoon. We have to be aware of our surroundings. They are required. You have to stop for stop signs, a complete stop. Otherwise, you will be cited.
It boggles my mind some days. I'm driving through different municipalities, it's not just one, and you're coming up to the stop sign and you know the person coming out of the other street or in front of you didn't stop, and it just blow right through. And you look at it and go, all right, well, yeah, you can kind of see around you, but you're just assuming that nobody else is doing that same thing.
Right, and you know what? Stop signs are put up by PennDOT because they're needed to be there at that certain location. They're required to be there. You have to stop at them because, again, you may not see around a corner, or maybe the other road at the intersection, maybe they don't have one and you think they do. Now you roll through it, and now we have a crash we need to investigate. So again, save yourself some time, stop at the stop sign, do a complete stop, and move on with your day.
One other thing I want to bring up while we're talking about signs, yield signs coming off of major roadways. You see them off the interstates, off of maybe like side roads, 309, 93. A lot of times people just go right through without really yielding to make sure there's nothing coming.
Right.
That also can be a big problem.
It can, and yield is not a stop. Yield, you have to slow down to where you can enter the roadway safely. It's not a complete stop. There are some times when you do have to stop because maybe traffic's backed up. But again, you're yielding into traffic, so you have to make sure you do it safely.
just pay attention and listen to the signs out there. Also, another big thing on red lights, if there's a sign there that says no turn on red, it's there for a reason. I remember a couple of years ago we did a big story when they did the Broad Street Corridor project, and every stop sign and red light in Hazleton had them. That was kind of changed a little bit, but they're there because of maybe blind corners. It's just a little too dangerous of a roadway to get onto, but they're there for your safety.
Correct. Due to the flow of traffic, you might not be able to turn on red. That's why the sign is posted. Again, that is a citable offense. You can get pulled over for that and be cited for it. Don't do it. It's going to save you time in the long run. Just stop and wait until it turns green.
All right, so use common sense when you're out there. If you have a stop sign, stop. Make sure there's nothing coming, especially now, as Trooper Wachowski said, the kids are back in school. It's still nice how people are out walking. Just use some common sense when you're out there. Stop at the stop signs, yield at the yield signs, and don't turn on red if there's a sign that says don't turn on red. It could cause a bigger problem for you, and I'm sure none of us have a couple extra thousands of dollars to get our cars repaired or to pay maybe a fine from the state police or any police out there in our area. Trooper Wachowski, thanks for coming on. Thank you for joining us here on Trooper Talk Tuesday. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer is more than just a great place to grab 6-packs to go. You can also enjoy great draft beer, including their exclusive 3 Onina milk stouts. Take it to go in a crowler, or mix and match bottles of your favorite craft beers. Or just cool down with one of their slushies. Check out the Georgetown Pub Fare menu, including their Flight and Bites with your choice of sauces and 5-ounce draft beers. Stop in and play Keno or other Pennsylvania lottery games. Don't forget to check out their website and Facebook for tasting events. Krugel's Georgetown Deli and Beer in Wilkes-Barre Township, right next to the Big Cow.
Your exciting new TV experience is here. Smarter, faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Hazleton area high school students had a chance to do something they don't usually get to do very often in school. WYLN's Mike Murphy has more.
Students at Hazleton Area High School traded in their books and pencils today for plaid shirts, jeans, boots, and line dancing in the gymnasium. The event was all in part of Spirit Week as students dressed up to match the country theme, and which was selected for this year. Spirit Club advisor and math teacher Charissa Reggie helped organize the event, with the theme catching some students off guard.
The kids had no idea this was a surprise to all of our students. We had encouraged them all week to dress for the Spirit Day, and in turn, if they dressed, they would be able to participate in an incentive today. So they didn't know, but they were obviously very excited here today, so we're very excited as well.
The event came with a catch for those students who wished to participate. Volunteers instructed the students on how to properly line dance. Many students participated as it did not take them long to kick into rhythm. Reggie thinks this year's theme was a hit with the students once the word got out.
With Rachel's challenge, had decided that would be a great initiative, very positive, a great environment, and we had a family member to come in and teach, and it took off. It was contagious.
In Hazel Township, for WYLN News, I'm Mike Murphy.
All right, people now have the opportunity to start participating and start to plan for next year's Yuengling Light Lager Jogger 5K, and you can start registering for it today. The registration opened at noon today for the 8th annual race that is scheduled for Saturday, April 25th, 2020 in Pottsville. You're urged to register now because the popular race usually sells out within 72 hours. You can register for the annual event by visiting lagerjogger.com. And I'd have to start training now if I registered. That's the news. Remember, you can get news updates on our Wyln News Facebook page, and stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on Wyln TV.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor.